Okay, so today I'm doing a rustic summer getaway. The first part of the video got cut out, the part where I'm actually building the house, so it just kind of skipped to the roofing, which is fine because all that kind of stuff is a little boring anyway. So I've been in a building mood, and I've also been wanting to do kind of a summery build. So this house is in Granite Falls, and I think I'll be doing more builds like this. I've just been wanting to do, since seasons came out, some seasonal kind of builds. In the fall, I'll do some fall kind of builds. I do have a couple more ideas that I want to do for some more house builds, so there will definitely be some more coming. I've been away from playing Sims for way too long. I went away for 10 days and then I came back and went away for another week. So I've been missing the Sims so bad, and I've been camping that entire time and thinking a lot about these kind of like cottages and cabins and these kinds of builds. So I came home just totally ready to try and manifest this summer getaway that I've been thinking about. So I kind of wanted to do like the timber theme. I tried a bunch of those pillars. I like the ones that had the stone at the bottom, but they just didn't look too natural, so I kept them the way they are. This house does end up having a really strange layout, and I liked it though. I really liked the layout. I don't know why I don't know why I don't ever just look up floor plans and then pick one. I actually just wing it, and for some reason I think this one worked out pretty well. It's a bit of a weird, it's a bit of a strange layout, but I think for like a summer cabin or a cottage, it makes it's kind of good. It's a little bit cluttered, it's a little bit weird, but I think that's kind of what I was going for. So this build actually has 3 bedrooms. There's like a master kind of bedroom, a second bedroom downstairs, and then upstairs there's kind of like a loft. It's more like a kid's room slash playroom. And then I also put like 2 balconies as well. So the upstairs was a little bit hard to figure out the layout because the stairs do go right into the middle of the house, but that's okay. I ended up figuring it out. I was having some trouble with the walls upstairs though. I do end up fixing them though, so it gets better, but in the beginning it was very frustrating. So yeah, I'm using these, most of this stuff in this house is from either, it's not the Granite Falls pack, it's the, what's it called? Where you can go on vacation? I should know what this is, but I don't. Anyway, that's where most of this stuff is from. Also from Seasons, like the doors and the windows and the stairs are all from Seasons. They have that like light timber color that I really like, and I think it suits this build. The house is a little bit boxy. It's a little bit large on the outside. It turned out to be a bit bigger than what I was thinking in my head, but I really like the inside. The outside, it's like I said, it's hard when things don't go exactly the way you planned in your head. It's hard to kind of get used to it and be okay with the way that it turned out. And so that's kind of what I struggled with. Again, struggling with the roof as well. I ended up picking that one, which I think is the same as the one next door, just a different color. And I think for my next build, I'll be doing something a little bit similar but way smaller. So kind of like, this one is more, it doesn't really have a cottagey feel because I picture cottages being really small for some reason, or cabins being really small, and this one is actually quite large. So in my next one, I think it'll be quite a bit smaller. So that's where I was struggling with that roof. I realized later that I had to stretch the room out to touch both sides of the walls, so I do end up doing that a little bit later. Just putting in all the lights right now. The kitchen, I ended up picking some stuff from, I can't remember any of the pack names, Jungle Adventure. And I just changed the color because I ended up thinking that this color was way too light, so I went with something else. But I'm pretty happy with the kitchen and the layout. I think it looks pretty good. I was going to use that like wood stove, but then I thought, no, I pictured this being a house. It's probably going to be quite expensive. I think it turns out to be $964 a day to stay here, and that might be the most expensive one out of all of the houses in Granite Falls. So I do picture this one being a little bit more upscale. Like it's got that rustic feel, but it's also not a cheap, crappy cabin. It's quite nice, and a lot of the stuff in it is newer. Don't ask why I like manually spread the paint all over the walls instead of just hit like the control button or whatever it is. It was mesmerizing and I felt like doing it, so that's what I did. And then after the kitchen, I don't exactly remember where I went with this. Just like the finishing touches mostly. This is exactly what I pictured for the kitchen. It kind of came together perfectly, just how I thought it would. I've never actually stayed in a cabin before, so I actually don't really know what they're like. But I think this one is pretty good. When I just went camping for those 10 days and then back out there for a week again, I was staying in my trailer. So I don't know really what you should find in a cabin, but I kind of feel like I did put in a pet bowl. I forgot beds, of course, because I always do. But I did fill it up with some cluttery items and some stuff that I think made it feel a little bit old school. Like, I picture it being an older cabin, but they've kind of tried to put newer stuff in it, and they're slowly trying to kind of make it a little more upscale, but a lot of the furniture in it is super old and rustic. So I love that table. I never use it though because it just doesn't fit any of the builds that I do. So I use that table in like the little ketchup and mustard thing, and yeah, just I made sure to fill up every corner, every wall. I didn't want it to be empty. I wanted it to look really filled up and homey. And what else? Oh, struggling with the wine rack. Of course, the wine rack had to go in. And I think, just looking for more things. Like I wanted like something to go out the back door, like a little shoe rack. So I put that there with like the umbrella stand and a little basketball on top of that for like a little back door entry. And then in that far room, it's only a little bit bigger than the other room, so I just put in a double bed. The other room has a double bed as well, but it's up against the wall, so you can only have one Sim sleep in that bed unless you want to rearrange the room a little bit. I also put like a big screen TV on the wall in both those rooms. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like why not have something a little more upscale? I ended up changing it later. I put the TVs in later. But I kind of felt like I said, the people that own this place are trying to slowly make it more of a luxury cabin. And so they're slowly adding things like, you know, the TV and things like that just to make it seem like it's a more upscale cabin. Which eventually I feel like the people who own it would want it to be. And then in here, I put the living room together, and then I decided I wanted a fireplace in there, so I ended up taking out that love seat and putting a fireplace there, and I took out the windows behind it as well. I just felt like it really needed a fireplace in that room. It might be a little bit cluttered though. Like once I put the fireplace in, I was like, oh, that's pretty tight, but I think it kind of works out. I can't picture having a summer cabin without a fireplace. Also, when I took the screenshots for this house, it was fall. I was so disappointed. Well, actually, no. It was the last day of summer, so I was like, oh, it should look nice and summery for the pictures. But it doesn't at all. There's, like, leaves falling everywhere, and some of the plants are dead. So that was disappointing. I guess I could have placed it into another world, but I really didn't feel like starting up a new save game and, you know, choosing summer and then... No, just no. Didn't want to go there. So that's the main floor. I think it's mostly filled up. I ended up putting a bookshelf and, like, a fish tank down there, just filling up some other walls that needed some help. And on the front porch, I guess I could have done a little bit more with the front porch. I never know what to put there though. I think I ended up putting like a little bench, and then I do the bathroom last. I didn't forget about the bathroom. Then I took a break, came back because that's normally what I have to do for my builds. Sometimes I just kind of lose inspiration for a bit, so I just come back the next day or whatever, and it's a lot easier for me. So yeah, I had to stretch those rooms out to if I wanted to paint the walls. So I did that, and then there's that one wall that was still bugging me, so I was like, fine, I'll cover you up and put a closet. So there are 2 closets upstairs, which I picture being maybe like linen closets or something like that. So there's 2 of those upstairs. And also the kids' room I really like. It's exactly what I would picture. Like I went to summer camp, so I kind of know what these places are like. I've never stayed in a cabin before, but I've seen them. And so I've seen a lot of rooms like this that have like the older like beds and old toys and stuff. So I kind of thought that that's what I would do. I used the ones from Cats and Dogs because they had like the old quilts on them, which I thought were really neat. And I also put a toddler bed in there because none of the other houses in Granite Falls have a toddler bed. I think because I don't think toddlers were in the game when Granite Falls came out, because no, I don't think it was. So that's probably why there's no toddler beds. But in this build there is. And for some reason it got super leggy right here, and I don't really know why. But anyway, so I just put in like a bookshelf, a little craft table, some more stuff on the walls, and yeah, I just filled it up as much as I could, like a kid's playroom / bedroom, I guess. So there's 3 beds in there. You can always add more if you want. And then the other room is a bathroom. It could have been another bedroom, I guess, but I thought 2 bedrooms would make more sense. So I used pretty much all of the furniture from the Seasons pack for the bathrooms, except for the toilet, which I think is from Cats and Dogs. I think the season stuff really fit the theme of the cabin, so I thought that looked pretty good there. And yeah, for some reason it's super choppy right now, and I wish that it wasn't, but I don't know. Usually after I render my videos, they turn out nice and fine, like they're nice and smooth and they're fine, but now and then you run into problems. So I put in a mirror there, which I actually ended up putting on the other side. I put in like little scouts board. I don't know why, like it's not like you can use it when you're on vacation, but I thought it looked good up there. And I also put like the keyboard because I feel like, why not? They could just have some random stuff like that in there. There's also a guitar downstairs. And I put a fish tank there. And then I think I stuck a bar on the other side. I can't remember what I did with that space. Oh, the bathroom again. But yeah, on the other side of the wall, I think I put a bar into the last minute. So right now it's going to show up as empty. I don't even know if it's in the screenshots, but if you download the house on the gallery, there is a bar in this house as well. And then going into the backyard, I was kind of dreading this because we all know landscaping is not my forte. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do a good job. I ended up moving the picnic table back to being like outside. I put a barbecue out there, just the kind of things that I think you would want to have while you're on vacation. And then I also put a little fire pit there. I struggled so much with the chairs. I didn't know what chairs to put there. I tried maybe 4 or 5 different types of chairs before I settled on like the little log cutouts. Good enough. Nothing looked complete. Nothing looked right. It all looked really weird, especially those ones with the blue cushions. I couldn't make it work. I did like those like mismatched camping chairs. I feel like that's what we use when we're going camping. Like we just have those kind of like fold up chairs. And none of them match, of course, because you get them all at different times. So I kind of thought that was kind of neat, but then I ended up just changing it out because I didn't really like it. Also put in the swing set, a whole bunch of trees. The horseshoe pit is there. I was going to put a water slide, but I did not. I placed it and then got rid of it because it looked too bright and weird and just didn't look good. So I surrounded the whole lot with a bunch of trees because I think that's kind of key for these lots. Like any other vacation lot is going to be covered in trees. And just other things like these ferns and rocks and bushes just to kind of fill up the space a little bit. One thing I forgot to do, but I'm okay with it now, but looking at it now, I forgot to do like a pathway leading up to the door. But I'm actually thinking it looks fine just the way it is. So, I initially overlooked that, but now looking at it, it looks fine, I think. I also put a tent back there because, you know, sometimes kids like to sleep in tents just for fun. I put like the lounge pool and the water balloon bucket. Basically, if you don't have seasons, this house is going to be nothing if you download it. Like, I used way too much stuff from seasons. Also some more bushes, ferns, rocks, just stuff to make it filled up a little bit. I don't think it looks too bad. It looks like a good place to hang out and go on vacation. And now we are heading into the screenshots. Thanks for watching.